This song is by Piero Umiliani, one of my favorite composers ever. He's extremely famous for the song I played, Mana Mana. The original title though wasn't Mana Mana, was Hooray for the Swedish Sauna. Why? The song was part of a soundtrack from 1968 and for a movie called Sweden, Heaven and Hell. And last minute, the director told Piero, while he was recording in the studio, Piero, you must add to the soundtrack 1 last minute of music. And Piero quickly, with the people in the studio, improvised something. Mana mana, la 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 la. And the result was this beautiful song. Piero had a connection in the United States with the publishing company. They fell in love with this piece of music, only 1 minute. And they released the single. And the single was a huge hit. It was used, the song, in the Muppet Show. There was a character there named Mana Mana. And extremely popular. And Piero didn't even know. Basically, he received a call one day from the States, from a friend, saying, hey, Piero, I keep listening to your song all day long on the radios, in TV. And Piero, which song? Mana Mana. Mana Mana is not a song of mine. It was. He didn't know. So sometimes, really, huge success comes from, invisible, apparently unexplainable things. And Piero Umiliani was from Florence. My name is Samuele. I can tell you more about Piero Umiliani and about many other things, not only music. Arrivederci!
Hi, I'm here in front of one of the curious things that you're gonna find in Florence. I'm talking about a wine windows. What is a wine windows? Well, it's this. Whenever you go in Florence on a building of course belonging to a rich family, you always find something like that. This was a sort of cellars. Well, we used to sell wine through here. You're gonna find like 100 strange different wine windows like that everywhere in the city. Now at the moment we don't use it anymore, but recently someone opened a gate. But this is something coming from the past. In the past, people that got money, of course, they got a beautiful building in the city and also a beautiful villa in the countryside. And in the countryside, they used to produce wine. In Italy, especially here in Florence, we are famous for the Chianti wine. So we produce the Chianti in the countryside, and then after we bring the wine to the city, and we sell through here. Some of these little spot, these wine shop windows, they also got a timing when they open and also when they close. And when they close, usually they used to leave outside like a piece of bread and a bottle of wine for the poor people. And in fact, we're gonna call the tabernacles of wine. But in Florence, everybody call it le buchette or the wine windows. I know where they are. You wanna look for it? So, my name is Giulia. These are the wine windows.
Hello there. Have you ever thought about the reason why Chianti Classico is called Black Rooster? Well, I'll tell you a story that goes back 1,000 years. It's a time of the battles between Florence and Siena. Okay, one day maybe they did not have enough money in town, so they decided that they were going to divide the Chianti territory between Florence and Siena. And the people in Florence and the people of Siena said, we're going to have one night, leave from our cities and the place where they meet, we're going to set the boundaries of Chianti. But the people from Florence are notoriously smarter than the people from Siena, not because I am from Florence, of course, decided not to feed the skinny old black rooster the night before the race. Instead, the white, fat rooster in Siena was well fed. So the morning of the race, the skinny old black rooster in Florence was much hungrier than the fat white rooster in Siena. So he started to crow before the one in Siena. The Florentine knight left, gained more territory, and that's how Florence has more land in Chianti than Siena. My name is Angelo. Remember, better with a guide.
Hi guys, I'm Giulia and right now I'm in San Miniato. San Miniato is a beautiful little town on top of a hill in between the two cities of Pisa and Florence. Did you know that San Miniato is famous for truffle? White truffle in particular? White truffle, a truffle in general, is an edible fungus, like mushrooms. But unlike mushrooms, it grows few centimeters underground, only in certain places where there is no pollution, no contamination. The area of San Miniato is a wonderful place for it to grow. I'm here with this fellow man, Mr. Arturo Gallerini, a truffle hunter who in 1954, together with his dog Paris, together they found the biggest white truffle ever, a real treasure, 2.5 kilos of truffle. This truffle ended up to the States. It was given as a present to the president, the US president of that time, Mr. Eisenhower. Don't forget to come here. The last 3 weekends of November, there is the festival dedicated to white truffles. So, my dear guests, I'm Giulia. So don't forget to come and visit us here in Tuscany. Don't forget to visit San Miniato, and don't forget that it's always better with a guide.
I'm drinking the cocktail called Americano. Everybody asks about the Americano for the aperitivo, but inside there is a story that is connected with another important and famous cocktail, Italian cocktail. The Americano ingredients are all Italians: red vermouth, bitter Campari, and Stels. And why is called Americano, American, the American? Because it's connected with the story of a boxer very famous at the beginning of the 1900s, Primo Carnera, who became very famous in Italy and US. And in Italy, everybody called him the Americano, the American. So this cocktail is dedicated to him. The cocktail Americano became very famous in Milan, in Turin, and also in Florence, in all the place very elegant and very noble area. In Florence, a nobleman used to drink this cocktail in a very famous historical cafe in street Via Tornabuoni. And what happened? One day, coming and returning from the trip from London, asked to the barman to change this cocktail, to add the gin instead of cells. And he created a new cocktail called Negroni because his name was Camillo Negroni. The Negroni was born in Florence and now is very popular all over the world. My name is Laura. Enjoy your aperitivo and better with a guide. Bye bye. Ciao.
Hello, here is Ilenia, your local guide of Florence. Now I am in front of the basilica called San Lorenzo. Actually, all the area takes the name from this basilica. You have to know that this church was the first cathedral of Florence many centuries ago. I'm talking about the 3rd and 5th century after Christ, okay? Later on in the centuries, when the Medici came to live in this area, the important house of the Medici is the one here in the corner, okay, so very close to the basilica. So when they were living there, they decided to pay for the renovation of this church. So what we see now is the reconstruction of the 15th century. They paid for this reconstruction because San Lorenzo was their favorite church. But as you can see, they did not finish the frontal decoration. They missed it. Michelangelo was supposed to make the frontal decoration, but then he had too much work to do. It was very expensive to do these things. The Pope asked him to do it, the Pope who was part of the Medici family. Anyway, this place is a very nice place, especially because inside we have the tombs of some of the Medici. And then behind we have the Princess Chapel that was built even for the Medici, but when they were Duke and Grand Duke. And in the Princess Chapel we have the new sacristy made by Michelangelo. So only in this place we have many amazing things about even the Medici family and about some of the most important artists of Florence. So when you come to Florence, this is one of the places which I suggest you to see. See you in Florence. Ciao!